Your body tenses up, your knuckles turn white on the handlebars. Your breathing gets shallow as the road tilts downward. Meanwhile, younger riders fly past you with seemingly no fear. Sound familiar? Here's the truth no one's talking about. Descending gets harder as we age, not just physically, but mentally. That crash you would have bounced back from at 25 now feels like a risk you can't afford at 45. Your brain is literally rewired to be more cautious, and your body recovers slower if things go wrong. But what if I told you that some of the best descenders in the world are over 40? That age can actually be an advantage if you know the right techniques. We've helped hundreds of cyclists over 40 transform their descending from white-knuckle terror to confident control. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how. In this video, I'll reveal the age-specific descending techniques that have helped our clients overcome decades of fear and hesitation on downhills. These aren't just generic tips. They're specifically designed for riders whose bodies and minds have changed with age. The best part? You don't need to be fearless or reckless to descend well. In fact, the thoughtful, methodical approach that comes with maturity is actually perfect for mastering this skill when channeled correctly. As a group of cycling coaches who specialize in working with riders over 40, I've seen these techniques transform even the most nervous descenders. One client, Stephen, had avoided group rides for years because he'd get dropped on every descent. After implementing these exact strategies, he was keeping up with and sometimes leading riders 15 years younger on technical downhills. And by the way, if you want to master descending and ride with more confidence without figuring it all out on your own, you can book a free strategy call with our coaching team using the first link below. We'll analyze your current technique and create a personalized plan to transform your descending based on your specific challenges and goals. Now, let's get back to mastering descending after 40. Let's start by understanding what actually changes as we age that affects our descending, because once you understand these changes, you can work with them instead of fighting against them. First, there's the obvious physical aspect. Our reaction time slows slightly. Our vision might not be as sharp, especially in low light. Our flexibility decreases, making it harder to maintain certain positions on the bike. And yes, crashes hurt more and take longer to heal from. But the bigger changes are often mental. Our brain's risk assessment changes dramatically as we age. This isn't weakness. It's your brain doing exactly what it's supposed to do, keeping you alive longer. The frontal cortex, which handles risk assessment, actually becomes more developed and cautious with age. This explains why you might have bombed down descents without a second thought in your 20s, but now find yourself hesitating and braking earlier. Your brain is literally processing risk differently. The problem is that this natural caution can create a negative feedback loop. You tense up, which makes your bike handling worse, which leads to scary moments, which makes you more tense the next time. It's a cycle that can gradually erode your confidence until descending becomes something you dread rather than enjoy. But here's where it gets interesting. These age-related changes also bring advantages that younger riders don't have. You have better judgment, more patience, greater body awareness, and a wealth of experience to draw from. The key is leveraging these advantages while addressing the specific challenges. And that's exactly what we're going to do with the three-phase approach we've developed specifically for riders over 40. Phase 1 is rebuilding your technical foundation. Many descending problems stem not from fear itself, but from actual technical deficiencies that create legitimate reasons to be afraid. Let's start with the most fundamental aspect, your position on the bike. As we age, we tend to ride more upright, which is fine for comfort on flat roads, but creates instability on descents. The key is finding a descending position that works for your specific body. Drop your hands to the drops, but don't force yourself into an aggressive position that strains your back or neck. Instead, focus on these three elements. Relaxed arms with a slight bend in the elbows to absorb bumps. Centered weight with your core engaged and your head up looking through the turn, not down at your front wheel. Practice this position on flat ground first, then gentle descents before tackling anything technical. One client, Robert, who had chronic back issues, found that slightly raising his handlebars actually improved his descending because he could get into a stable position without pain. Next, let's address braking technique. This is where many riders over 40 get into trouble. The tendency is to either brake too hard in panic moments or to ride the brakes constantly, which actually reduces control and overheats your rims or rotors. Instead, practice what I call bracketed braking. Brake deliberately before the corner, release the brakes as you turn, then accelerate out. This creates a rhythm. Brake, turn, accelerate. Brake, turn, accelerate. Practice this pattern on gentle corners before progressing to steeper descents. The goal is to make it automatic, so even when you're nervous, your body follows this safer, more controlled pattern. One technique that's particularly helpful for older riders is what I call progressive braking. Instead of grabbing a handful of brake, start with gentle pressure and progressively increase it as needed. This gives your body time to adjust to the deceleration forces and maintains better control. The third technical element is cornering line. Many riders take poor lines through corners, which forces them to brake mid-turn or make sudden corrections. Both recipes for trouble. angle. The ideal line through most corners is wide entry, apex in the middle, wide exit. Think of drawing a smooth arc through the corner rather than a sharp angle. This allows you to maintain more consistent speed and requires less dramatic lean angles. But here's the age-specific adaptation. While younger riders might apex at the very inside of a corner, riders over 40 often benefit from a slightly wider line that provides better visibility and more margin for error. You might be a second slower, but you'll be much more confident and ultimately faster over a complete descent. Phase 2 of our approach addresses the mental aspects of descending, which become increasingly important after 40. The first mental technique is what I call chunking. Instead of seeing a long, intimidating descent as one challenge, break it into smaller, manageable sections. Focus on one corner at a time, one section at a time. This approach leverages the superior planning abilities that come with age. Before a challenging descent, mentally divide it into 3 to 5 sections. As you descend, focus only on the section you're currently in, then move to the next. This prevents overwhelming yourself with the entire challenge at once. The second mental technique is positive visualization. Your brain doesn't always distinguish clearly between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience. Use this to your advantage by regularly visualizing successful descending. Spend 5 minutes before bed imagining yourself descending with perfect form, taking ideal lines, and feeling confident and in control. This literally creates neural pathways that your body can access when you're actually on the bike. One client who had developed a fear of descending after a bad crash used this technique daily for 3 weeks. When he returned to the descent where he'd crashed, he was amazed at how much calmer he felt, simply because his brain had practiced success so many times. The third mental technique is progressive exposure. This is a proven approach for overcoming fears that works particularly well for older riders who tend to be more methodical. Start with descents that are well within your comfort zone, then gradually increase the challenge in small, manageable increments. The key is to finish each session feeling successful, not terrified. This builds a positive association with descending rather than reinforcing fear. For example, you might start with a descent that has good visibility, smooth pavement, and gentle corners. Once that feels comfortable, try one with slightly steeper sections or more technical corners, but still with good road conditions. Gradually work your way up to more challenging descents. Phase 3 of our approach focuses on physical preparation specific to the demands of descending after 40. The first element is vision training. Our visual acuity and processing speed naturally decrease with age, but specific exercises can help counteract this. One simple drill is to practice tracking moving objects with your eyes while keeping your head still. This improves your ability to scan the road ahead while descending. Another effective exercise is to practice quickly shifting focus between near and far objects. This trains your eyes to rapidly adjust between looking at the road surface immediately ahead and scanning further down the descent, a crucial skill for safe descending. The second physical element is core strength. A strong core is essential for stable descending and becomes even more important as we age. But you don't need to do hundreds of crunches. Instead, focus on functional exercises that mimic the demands of descending. Planks, side planks, and bird dogs are particularly effective. Just 5 to 10 minutes of these exercises 3 times per week can significantly improve your stability on the bike. One client, Thomas, who struggled with feeling wobbly on descents, saw dramatic improvement after just 4 weeks of consistent core work. The third physical element is flexibility, particularly in your neck, shoulders, and lower back. The descending position requires you to hold your head up while your body is angled forward, a position that can become uncomfortable or even painful if you lack flexibility. Simple stretches for these areas, done consistently, can make a huge difference in your descending comfort. Focus especially on neck rotations, shoulder rolls, and gentle lower back stretches. Even 5 minutes of stretching before each ride can help prepare your body for the demands of descending. Now let's put all this together into a practical progression that you can start implementing today. Week 1 is about rebuilding your technical foundation. Practice your descending position and braking technique on flat ground or very gentle descents. Focus on the basic: relaxed upper body, centered weight, progressive braking, and looking ahead. Week 2 introduces the mental techniques. Start visualizing successful descending daily. Choose a familiar descent and practice chunking it into sections. Apply your technical skills from week 1, but now on slightly more challenging terrain. Week 3 adds the physical preparation. Incorporate the vision exercises, core work, and flexibility stretches into your routine. Continue practicing on progressively more challenging descents, always staying within a range that allows you to feel in control. By week 4, you should be ready to tackle a descent that previously caused you anxiety. Apply all the techniques we've covered and remember to break it down into manageable sections. The key is to finish feeling successful even if you took it slower than others might. Continue this progression, gradually challenging yourself while building confidence through successful experiences. Remember, the goal isn't to descend like a 25-year-old professional. It's to descend confidently and safely in a way that works for your body and mind at this stage of life. Let me share a real-world example that brings all these principles together. James was a 58-year-old cyclist who had been riding for decades but had developed increasing anxiety about descending after a close call in his late 40s. He'd reached the point where he was avoiding routes with significant descents, which severely limited his riding options. We started with the technical foundation. identifying that his position was too far forward, causing instability. By adjusting his weight distribution and teaching him to relax his arms, he immediately felt more stable. We then worked on his braking technique, breaking the habit of constant brake dragging and replacing it with deliberate braking before corners. Next, we addressed the mental aspect. James used visualization daily and practiced on progressively more challenging descents. We also incorporated the physical elements, particularly core strengthening and neck flexibility exercises, to make the descending position more comfortable. The transformation wasn't overnight, but within 2 months, James was confidently descending roads he'd been avoiding for years. He wasn't the fastest descender in his group, but he was smooth, controlled, and most importantly, enjoying the downhills rather than dreading them. What's particularly interesting about James's case is that he actually became a better overall cyclist. The confidence he developed on descents carried over to other aspects of his riding. He was more relaxed in groups, more willing to try new routes, and ultimately having more fun on the bike. This highlights an important point. Mastering descending after 40 isn't just about going downhill faster. It's about removing a significant barrier to enjoying cycling fully. When you're no longer anxious about descents, your entire riding experience transforms. There's one final aspect I want to address: equipment considerations for descending after 40. While technique is paramount, certain equipment choices can significantly enhance your confidence and control. First, consider your tire choice and pressure. Many older riders benefit from slightly wider tires, 25 to 28 mm, run at appropriate pressure for their weight. This provides more stability and grip, particularly on imperfect road surfaces. The minimal weight penalty is far outweighed by the confidence boost. Second, if you're in the market for a new bike, consider disc brakes. The improved modulation and consistent performance in all conditions can be transformative for nervous descenders. One client described the switch to disc brakes as like having someone else's more confident hands controlling my speed. Third, ensure your bike fit accommodates a comfortable descending position. This might mean a slightly higher handlebar position than what's currently fashionable, or a shorter stem to reduce reach. Remember, the best position is the one that allows you to descend confidently and comfortably. If you found this approach helpful and want more practical strategies like these, I invite you to join our free 4Cyclers community. It's a supportive group of busy amateur cyclists just like you, who are focused on getting better without training more. And if you're ready to transform your descending with personalized guidance, you can book a one-on-one coaching call with our team. Just click the first link in the description to schedule your session, where we'll analyze your current technique and create a custom plan to help you descend with confidence. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road.